Right now, honoring those who've served, how the Biden administration is looking to support troops exposed to environmental hazards during deployments. Plus, a surprise agreement between the U.S. and China, how the two nations plan to deal with climate change. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Let's head to the Weather Center, where Austin's standing by with your first warned forecast. Going downhill fast.
Oh, that's exactly right. You mentioned to me that you mentioned this to me just a minute ago about how you were walking your dogs earlier today, and it was about 9 degrees warmer than it actually is right now. And that's because of that cold front just slammed through. So we're actually going to continue to cool things down here even over these next few hours. Normally, this is the time of the day where we increase those temperatures. Not so much today, thanks to that cold front that did just make its way through. That also brought quite a bit of rainfall here this morning. If you were outside early this morning, you definitely saw that rain, but now it does look like most of it has cleared out. We're just looking at a slight chance to see another passing shower here for the rest of the day as we do look to dry things out. But our temperature is lower to mid-40s. Notice how some of our cooler temps are just on the left side of your screen. Black River Falls down to about 42 degrees. But taking a look at wind speeds, still a bit breezy, but now from the west, and that's where the cold pool of air is, and that's just going to keep cooling us down. A low of 32 degrees here for tonight. We're going to see an increase in cloud cover late and a chance of a few flurries. That's ahead of some snowfall that we're expecting for tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned. I have the latest look at how much we're expecting here for that first snow event of the season coming tomorrow.
All right, we'll check back. Thank you, Austin. On this Veterans Day, ceremonies noting this day are being held across the country. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers and other members of his administration released a video message this morning honoring veterans and offering their support.
Secretary of the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs.
And I'm Governor Tony Evers. Today we're honoring Veterans Day and all of the brave folks who sacrificed and served our country.
Every day, but especially today, we pay respects to those who have served in our armed forces.
The governor later attended the annual Veterans Day ceremony in the Wisconsin State Capitol, sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs and the Madison Veterans Council. Today, President Biden marked Veterans Day with a visit to Arlington National Cemetery in Washington. Biden laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is the final resting place for 3 unidentified U.S. service members. The monument was dedicated exactly 100 years ago on November 11th. This year's ceremony comes after 2 days, allowing members of the public to lay flowers at the plaza for the first time in 96 years. The White House is announcing new steps to look at the health effects of exposure to toxic contaminants while serving in the U.S. military. CBS's Natalie Brand spoke to a veteran who is sounding the alarm about the difficulty of drawing a direct link and urging the Veterans Administration to step up its study of the issue.
Morning. Marine veteran Kate Hendricks Thomas never imagined a battle with stage 4 breast cancer, a reality she's had to share with her 7-year-old son.
I'm proud of you. We've started to tell him the truth that, mommy has a terminal condition and it is going to kill her, but that she'll always be with you.
The 41-year-old learned of her diagnosis 4 years ago, more than a decade after returning from Iraq.
I was seeing my nurse practitioner for an annual exam, and she said, I want you to go get a mammogram based on where you've been stationed. The radiologist said it looked like I'd been dipped in something.
Hendricks Thomas didn't realize danger had been lurking on base in the form of burn pits, commonly used on overseas bases to get rid of waste.
I was 25 years old, and I felt like I was invincible. You know that feeling when you're that age? I wasn't concerned at the time about any exposure risk.
You were concerned about surviving.
Exactly.
When you burn hazardous materials, that you have hundreds of toxic chemicals that can be inhaled into a person's body. And even now,
California Congressman Raul Ruiz, who's also a doctor, has been working on bipartisan legislation to make it easier for veterans to access benefits by including a range of cancers among the illnesses that are considered to have a presumed link to burn pits.
Right now, the VA puts the burden of proof on the veterans.
Currently, veterans have to prove a direct connection. Hendricks Thomas, who also has a PhD in healthcare, says it took her 3 years for her claim to finally get approved after it was initially denied.
There is a true cost to war, and part of it is handling the veterans' benefits and healthcare when people come home.
She's now focused on helping to change the system for others and cherish her time with family.
Move, guys.
Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Alexandria, Virginia.
The defense is calling more witnesses to testify as the Kyle Rittenhouse trial continues. Yesterday, Rittenhouse himself took the stand and at one point got emotional. His testimony was also interrupted by an angry exchange in which his lawyers demanded a mistrial over what they argued were out-of-bounds questions asked of him by the chief prosecutor. The judge did not rule on the request but did scold the prosecutor. The man accused in a deadly shooting at the Fox River Mall earlier this year is pleading no contest to criminal charges. 18-year-old Desmond Ellis entered the plea to second-degree intentional homicide and first-degree reckless endangering safety. On January 31st, Ellis shot and killed Giovanni Fausto during a dispute about a girl. A bystander was also hurt in the shooting. Sentencing is the word, is scheduled for February 1st. Two of the world's biggest polluters are pledging to work together on climate change. The United States and China released a joint statement saying they intend to establish a working group to meet regularly and focus on enhancing concrete actions in this decade. In the newly announced joint declaration, Beijing and Washington also agreed to share technology to reduce emissions and do more to stop deforestation.
Out of this cooperation, we expect acceleration of the rate of reduction.
Climate experts at the COP26 meeting in Scotland welcomed the deal, but also say governments need to pick up the pace in order to stay within the goal of only a 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature rise in the next 10 years. The annual Festive holiday display in the Wisconsin State Capitol's Rotunda will return this year. This year's theme is Hometown for the Holidays. Students around the state can make ornaments for the tree, showing off their hometown and what it means to them. Ornaments need to be sent in by November 19th. This year's tree is a 32-foot balsam fir harvested from the Menominee Tribal Enterprise Forestry Center in Kashina and donated by the Menominee Nation. Former daytime soap opera star Jerry Douglas is dead. Douglas was best known for his longtime role of John Abbott on The Young and the Restless. He played the role of the Abbott family patriarch for more than 30 years. His last appearance was in 2016. Douglas's representative says he passed away after a brief illness on Tuesday. Jerry Douglas was 88 years old. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon.
A patent dispute arises between the NIH and a leading vaccine maker, and the Thanksgiving dinner will survive without an appearance from these sides. I'm Diane King Hall at the New York Stock Exchange. Those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
Change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Feed any appetite when you take and bake a large Big Murphy stuffed pizza. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
McGann Furniture in Baraboo has a question for you. Have you ever bought a piece of furniture in a box and then had to put it together yourself? We know it's not fun. At McGann's, everything is professionally inspected and assembled before pickup or delivery. Goodbye headaches, and there's no extra charge for assembly. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in soon and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
Are you sick of the areas of your home being cold in the winter or hot in the summer? Your house is a complete system of components that need to work together, similar to the human body. Just like us, your home needs to breathe too. If we're letting our home breathe fresh air, we'll be healthier and regulate our temperature better. Wouldn't it be great if we could show you all the areas needing improvement in just minutes without tearing the house apart? That is what our thermal imaging does for you. It will show the temperature differences and areas of air exchange. Then you'll know what areas need to be improved. Just like going to the doctor, except these doctors do house calls. This will also help in preventing the entrance of harmful pollutants inside your house. You can now easily bring down the energy bills and have a durable and safe home environment with Fry Construction. Visit fryconstruction.com to schedule your free professional house call with a thermal imaging and insulation specialist.
What is all this?
We call them options.
Options? Don't make me laugh.
Unbeatable selection without the drama. 2 pair plus a free eye exam as low as $59.95.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television.
Idea was it? Moderna's patent application lists several employees as the inventors of a key component of its COVID-19 vaccine. But the National Institutes of Health says not so fast. The list does not include 3 government scientists who they say helped develop it too. American Airlines pilots say no thanks to a holiday pay bonus. The airline offered premium pay of at least 150% and double pay for working the holidays. The union says it's not enough and wants more permanent changes. American has been trying to sweeten the pot for employees to help avoid a repeat of recent mass flight cancellations due to bad weather and staffing shortages. A slowdown in streaming dings Disney. The entertainment juggernaut says 2.1 million people signed up for Disney Plus in its latest quarter, but that was less than expected, and higher than expected costs led to an operating loss of $65 million. And from pesticides to I'll pass. According to a new Instacart survey on Thanksgiving's most disliked side dishes, Americans are saying scram to yams. 27% of respondents gave candied yams a thumbs down. Green bean casserole was close behind, followed by cranberry sauce and sweet potato casserole. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane Kinghall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street. The Dow Industrial's down 94 points. The NASDAQ, however, up 121. The S&P 500 up 7. The pandemic caused a boom in plastic waste, and much of it has ended up in our oceans. A new study reveals just how much damage PPE from the COVID crisis has done. CBS's Ian Lee reports from London.
The pandemic touched all corners of the earth and deep into the oceans. A new study finds the battle against COVID produced 8.4 million tons of plastic trash. From that, 57 million pounds of everyday PPE ended up in the seas.
They're getting inundated with a new source of trash, which is face masks, face shields.
Add to that more packaging material from online shopping as folks stayed at home, all of which has proven deadly to marine life.
And we think that that's likely to be an entanglement hazard for fish, for sea turtles.
Volunteers cleaning canals in the Netherlands found a fish trapped in the finger of a latex glove. Researchers say Asia has generated about 46% of pandemic plastic waste, while 22% came from North and South America combined, and 24% from Europe.
We're using more than 2 billion masks a day, these single-use throwaway items.
The study found the most waste came from hospitals. Dr. Marcus Erickson has studied the plastic problem for more than 20 years.
The pandemic is producing a lot of trash, and we're hoping that this blip in trash generation will fade as the pandemic does. Going to reuse and reusable systems is the way to go.
But if action isn't taken to either recycle or better manage the waste, researchers predict 3 million more tons of trash will pile up and stay with us long after the pandemic winds down. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Well, coming up, Pam Yankee will join us for today's Midwest Farm Report. Plus, we'll be seeing similar weather this weekend that we're seeing today. Well, Austin's got a full look at your forecast when we come back.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
This Veterans Day, all of us at Steinhoffel's would like to stop and take a moment to honor all of those who've served our country. It's Steinhoffel's simple way of saying thank you for your service and sacrifice. So this Veterans Day, please join us in honoring all of those who've served this country by saying thank you.
Habitat homes are built and bought by the hardworking families that live in them. Through affordable mortgages backed by your donations, Habitat Dane County offers a chance for these families to invest in their future and their community. Please donate or volunteer today.
Here's a secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, wants you to experience Botox with the best. Take $50 off your first Botox visit and discover why it's the #1 non-surgical treatment in the nation. It's time to learn how Botox is different at Robertson.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
They lost their cafe to the COVID pandemic, but a Barneveld couple refused to abandon their community.
We'll just come in and feed people.
And no one has to pay a penny. Susan Simons shows you how they're doing it tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
As prices on everything go up, could we see $4 gas? Call for Action gets the forecast from the experts.
Plus, to answer our question of the day, and you could win these.
And we are tracking the snow showers and squalls. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report as the cooler temperatures move in.
Yep, we're tracking it. Farmers all across the upper Midwest are watching it because it's not just about the harvest. Now we also have to start thinking about making sure our livestock are going to be in the right place, especially if the winds kick up, which is what I'm understanding. But more on that in just a little bit. Today being Veterans Day, first of all, I want to personally thank all of our veterans that have served and are serving. Our family is a Semper Fi group. So, again, I appreciate our military veterans. Speaking of veterans, there's a lot of veterans that are looking at Wisconsin agriculture as a possible way to get back into a normal routine. It gives them a chance to be on their own, be independent, kind of be in charge of their own schedule, so to speak. I was talking about it with Joe Cook. He is the coordinator of the Farmer Veteran Coalition of Wisconsin. This is a group that really just got formally organized in our state back in May, but they've already got more than 535 active members in the state. Now, membership for veterans in the Farmer Coalition is absolutely free. It's not just a standalone organization, though. Our Farmer Veteran Coalition of Wisconsin is connected with the National Farmer Veteran Coalition. They've got 31,000 members across the United States, and their activities stretch back to about 2006. In fact, Joe tells me they're going to be getting together next week in Knoxville, Tennessee, to talk about programming to help give veterans exposure to what agriculture offers them. He said they focus a lot of attention on mentors and internships so that veterans get a chance to put their toe in the water before they make a big commitment on any type of agriculture, whether it's livestock or whether it's grain activities. And also, if you ever do see something that's labeled as homegrown by heroes, that's their program. That shows you whatever you're buying, that it was made or grown by a veteran. Homegrown by heroes. Barrel cheese up 1/2 cent today at $1.55. 40-pound block cheese up a penny at $1.81. Double A butter, though, down a penny and 3/4 today at $1.95 3/4 per pound. But like I said, a lot of people from agriculture backgrounds, agriculture rural communities, part of the military. So again, thank you to our veterans.
Absolutely. This is the day to do it especially. Pam, thank you.
Yep.
Here's Austin now with a look at a cooler forecast.
Oh, yeah, we're even cooling down throughout the rest of today. Now, our temperatures started out in the mid-50s way earlier on this morning, but now we're looking at mid-40s. So we're going to continue that cooling trend even throughout these afternoon hours. Eventually, well, it's going to get pretty cold with highs only reaching the 30s. That's for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But then we're looking at a little warming trend afterwards. But with those cooler temperatures, we are expecting another round of precipitation. So some snow showers looking pretty likely for tomorrow, and another round is still possible Saturday night and into Sunday. So it's getting to that point of the year where we're starting to introduce some snow chances. Today we saw the rainfall. That was attached to a cold front, which greatly cooled down our temperatures. The rain, however, has really done a good job of moving out. So now we're still going to see a lot of cloud cover for the rest of today. A few peaks of some sunshine still looking pretty possible. Not too likely overall, but I still do think a lot of areas are going to see at least a few peaks of some sunshine. And then as this low pressure system continues to churn, we have some snowfall way out to our west. That's the back half of this system. And after the cold front moved through, now we're waiting for that next round. This is likely going to bring some lighter snowfall to our area. Taking a look at our future track, much of the rest of the day is still staying dry. Just that slim chance to see one of those passing showers. But notice how those temperatures stay pretty decent here for the rest of the day, right around those lower to mid 40s. And then overnight tonight, that's going to fall back down here into the middle to eventually low 30s. But how the atmosphere is actually set up for tomorrow, our temperatures are still expected to be in those middle to upper 30s, but we're still expecting snowfall. That is a possibility even with temperatures that are a little bit warmer than freezing. So that's what we're looking out for here tomorrow. But with those temperatures right above freezing, it's going to make it very tough for any of that snow to actually stick once it reaches the ground. So what I'm really looking at here for our Friday, a possibility to see some grassy accumulation here and there, but our roadways should look pretty good to go. It really depends on those temperatures, however, so keep a close eye out on that. Our future track does show only less than an inch of snow expected, and that's what's going to fall out of the sky here for that Friday system. And again, with most of that actually melting whenever it reaches the ground, we're not looking at a ton of accumulation, but I still do think there's going to be some grassy spots that see some snowfall that stick up there. But then you look at our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, drying out here near the end of our forecast, so we can see that really dropping off. Another rain chance here towards the end of the forecast, but that's right, we're still including rain chances in the forecast. It's not at the point of the year yet where we're only going to see some snowfall. We still have some rain on the way here for Wednesday. That high temperature of 48 degrees, that's going to make it pretty tough there to see any snowfall. But for a situation like tomorrow, everything really has to come together quite perfectly to see some snowfall, even with temperatures in those middle to upper 30s. And that's what we got in store here for tomorrow. So it shouldn't really cause too many issues, but you could see some snow stacking up on some grassy surfaces. And hey, we're seeing some snowflakes that are going to fall out of the sky. So that's pretty cool if you like snow.
That first one.
That's right.
On
first
Friday afternoon commute. That should be fun.
Yeah, we'll cross our fingers that we don't see too much overall here.
All right, Austin, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Whether your cookies, cakes, or bars are homemade or start from a box mix, nothing makes them stand out more than our from-scratch frostings. Nothing.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
That's not bacon. It's sausage.
Whoa.
Behold, Johnsonville sausage strips. Sausage that looks and cooks like bacon. It's a meaty miracle. Find them in the bacon section, even though they're sausage.
Introducing Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. New luxury apartments for seniors 55 plus. Professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Brenna today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-day challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-day challenge.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo should probably be called McGann Furniture and Flooring because we're the area's oldest and most experienced floor covering store. Our friendly staff will explain the many types of flooring available, answer questions, and make suggestions so you can choose what's best for your home and lifestyle. We always offer free in-home measurements and estimates and use the finest installers in the entire area. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in today and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
Now that we're about to enter the holiday season, it seems like we're looking for new and exciting ways to kick up our baked goods. And whether we're looking to jumpstart our cookies, cakes, or even our bars, nothing does it better than finishing them with a homemade frosting. So let me share 3 of my favorites. Here, I'm making a from-scratch cinnamon buttercream frosting, which is simply some butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon beaten together. Now that it's light and fluffy, we stir in a splash of vanilla and some powdered sugar. After this comes together, we beat in some half and half and more powdered sugar. Does this look good or what? And for those of you who love the combo of chocolate and coffee, our Mocha Frosting is a creamy, fluffy spin-off of a ganache that is truly to die for. And if by chance you love caramel, I mean, really love it, then our decadent caramel frosting should not be missed. Imagine any of these slathered on cookies for Santa or on a really good snack cake. To get the recipes for our cinnamon buttercream frosting, the caramel frosting, and our mocha frosting, along with the snack cake recipe that I was talking about, just go to our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a sweeter way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, it's time to introduce you to our pet of the week. This week, we'd like you to meet Shakira. She was found last month near the Starkwater bike path and brought to the Dane County Humane Society. Shakira's about a year old. She can be shy, but she's very friendly. She enjoys being outside and plays well in the yard with other dogs at the shelter. Shakira also has some moves like sitting and staying when asked. This sweet girl is looking for a family who'll spoil her with love, snuggles, and lots of treats. Tomorrow, join the Humane Society, Wisconsin Wildlife Rehab, and the Bat World Sanctuary via Zoom or in person at the shelter to learn all about bats. Registration is required, and a fee of $5 per person or $10 per Zoom connection is requested. All proceeds will benefit the Dane County Humane Society, Bat World Sanctuary, and local wildlife rehabilitators. Go to giveshelter.org events to learn more and to register. Last week's pet, Minnie the cat, is still available for adoption. If you're interested in adopting Shakira or Minnie, go to giveshelter.org. And here's Austin, one final check of the forecast.
And get ready for those first few snowflakes of the season tomorrow. Here's the last look at your 10-day forecast. You can expect those snow showers to start picking up in the early morning hours tomorrow, so do keep that in mind for your morning commute.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.